I opened up the Snapchat to just about everyone, asking for questions and stuff like that. And I think a lot of the questions revolved around kind of the business side. So I'm going to clear something up real quick. And that's kind of what, and by real quick, I mean that's what this entire video is dedicated to. But before I do that, today hasn't been anything too crazy. We've been doing photo shoots and other, getting ready for this March release, getting ready for the Arnold, and then other than that, it's really just been content creation stuff. Most of the questions that I've been getting on Snapchat, and yeah, mostly just Snapchat, have been all business related, which is cool, but at the same time, like, I'm trying not to get ahead of myself on this. I don't feel like I have any idea of what I'm doing right now, especially from a business standpoint. I really don't feel like I know what I'm doing 100%, and that's why I kind of hesitate to answer business questions, because most of the time, I mean, I'm still figuring this out for my specific screen printing, hand printed apparel. I don't know how to answer the questions that you guys are coming to me with for your fitness brand or XYZ, whatever it is. I'm still figuring out for myself. So like, I can bounce ideas more, but I feel like a lot of people come to me, and I don't think it's just me. I'm not trying to sit on a high horse here, but I think a lot of people look up to people and they ask them and they want a specific actionable step-by-step approach to how to get there. People come asking me and they ask me, like, how many shirts did you buy for your first release? Why did you decide to do this color scheme? How did you go about shipping? How did you go about XYZ? And I try to help them out as much as I can, but I'm only giving you the only advice I can give is stuff I've lived through and I've fought through. So like, if you come asking me about tax stuff, I know enough about what we're doing to be dangerous, and that's it. Like, I can't tell you how to structure your business. I can tell you that how we started as a sole proprietorship, and we switched to a partnership, and we did XYZ. But all this kind of ties together to this theme that I don't want people to think I'm an entrepreneur. And the more and more I get into this, I realize that people really think that that's what I am at my heart and core, and I don't think that's right. And by the way, if that's how you want to classify me and that's how you hold me, then I really appreciate that, and that means the absolute world to me. But here's why I don't think I am a true entrepreneur, is because growing up, I mean, in high school is a little bit different because I did technically work for myself, but it wasn't really myself. It was really for my dad. But it was so laid back that it was. I mean, I worked my own hours and did that kind of thing. But basically, what we did was he worked at basically an environmental company who did consulting for basically how to make. They'd go into factories and basically consult with the factory of how to make it more environmental friendly. So what they would do is they would go in and they'd switch out all like the halogen lights with the giant transformers in them, and they'd swap them out for more energy efficient lights. And that's kind of the division that my dad was over. So what they did was, usually the companies, when they didn't want those giant old lights that sucked up so much energy, they just wanted to get rid of them. So what my dad would do is he'd bring them home, give them to me, and I would tear them apart and sell it for scrap metal. So in that sense, I guess that's kind of what I'd say. There's a lot of work ethic that was developed there, and I guess I have more tendencies to be an entrepreneur from that aspect than anything. But I mean, I went to college, I got a degree in engineering and physics, I went and got a job. I worked a 9 to 5 for 2 years while I was trying to figure out this clothing line. And it was the only reason I was doing that job was so to begin with, when I first took the job, I thought engineering was what I wanted to do. I thought that was a field I wanted to get into. And kind of around my senior year, I kind of had some doubts of kind of what I really wanted to do. I didn't know if I wanted to go into the fitness industry and try to be like, I didn't know if I wanted to go get certified to be a personal trainer. I didn't know if I wanted to compete. I didn't know if I wanted to be like a sales rep for like a supplement company. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I knew I kind of wanted to be towards the fitness side of things, and I kind of told my parents this. And in the very beginning, I mean, I have it great with my parents. Like, they have supported me the entirety of everything that I've ever asked or tried to do. I've had their support, and they were like, okay, but you're only like a semester away from getting an engineering degree, so you should probably get that instead of just not graduating with that. So I ended up getting that. I worked in the engineering field, and I worked at that job for 2 years doing as a weld engineer, basically going over weld integrity and all that. But that's a 9-to-5 job. I mean, I didn't just come guns blazing out of high school and start up a company that's grossed XYZ. Like, that didn't happen, and I don't feel like that comes natural to me. Wanting to be on my own and work for myself and run my own schedule, that's what I want. I mean, I think that has been instilled with me since probably high school and pre-high school, is just really wanting to be self-dependent, I guess, and kind of be in control of everything. And that's exactly where I'm at right now. And the cool thing about it is I don't work a 9-to-5, so like my normal work day may be from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. at night, and I feel great. And then I'll get up and do it again the next day, and the next day, and the next day. And I love that freedom to have the ability, if I want to sleep in till 3 in the afternoon, I could. If I want to stay up till 7, if I don't want to go to sleep and just keep working through the night and don't go to bed until 2 in the morning or 7 in the morning, I can do that. Like, I have that ability, and every ounce of work that I do, I can physically see it. And that's a cool thing about starting this brand at this early stage. But some of the stuff does not come natural to me, which is why I don't think I'm an entrepreneur. That's why I don't think it's like in my blood. I think I've got some tendencies, and I think I've capitalized on them. But I think more than anything, I think what's really in my blood and really makes me up is truly caring about people, and that has been instilled with me since day one. And that's I mean, I was always known as the nice kid who always cared about everyone growing up in high school, all the way through like elementary school to high school to college. I mean, that's how everyone kind of viewed me, which is great, but I didn't really know what to do with it. I mean, it was cool, but I didn't really have like a vessel to put all that in. And now that I have this clothing line, I feel like this is where I dump it. And I feel like I have done that extremely well, which is why we're positioned where we're at right now. That's why it's okay for me to take 45 minutes to handwrite notes all day. That's why it's okay for me to hand out some free shirts every now and then. That's why it's okay for me to give discounts and coupons out to people, to random people, just for saying thank you for purchasing from us. And that's why it's okay for me to just continue to bring people on. And I think the people that are closest to me will agree with that. That is a strong suit of mine. Is just the ability to care for people, and really, I don't even want anything in return. It just comes naturally to me, and that's just how I handle things. Is I'll give people free T-shirts that don't even have like when we have someone who's older who orders from us, and when I say older, I'm talking like 50, 60 or something like that, and they don't have an Instagram or a Facebook or anything like that. I still feel obligated at times to send them some free stuff, and that's what I do. I'm not getting any exposure out of it. They're not an influencer, and it just feels right. It feels like the right thing to do. But I don't think, in my very core, I'm great with like the whole running a business side. I'm still trying to figure this out. I'm still trying to figure out how to budget stuff, how to not dump every penny that I have into a release when that's what I want to do, and I've done that before, which is why the first handful of releases we were hemorrhaging money, just because I was trying to. I didn't really know what I was doing. I feel like the more that we do this, I get my feet under me a little bit more, but it does not come naturally to me. I've learned a lot from just eating it. Like, I've fallen on my face more times than I can count with this brand, and it's cool because now I know exactly how that feels. I know exactly what it feels like to not know if you're on the right track. I know exactly how it feels like when that moment clicks and you see a design, you're like, this is what we're doing. I can gather all that. I'm starting to gather how to track taxes and all that. But a lot of this is still a learning process. And to be a true entrepreneur, I feel like sales and marketing and that side of the business comes really naturally to you. I feel like that's what you grow up doing, is being interested in, I see XYZ company, I see Coke is advertising on TV every single day at 7 o'clock p.m. and they're showing this commercial. I wonder why they're doing that. My brain doesn't work like that. I'm starting the more that I have to physically deal with marketing and have to physically deal with sales, I feel like I'm getting into that rhythm of knowing what I'm doing, I guess, especially with these Facebook ads. I mean, that's what and that's why I literally track everything. So like every single Facebook ad I've ever ran, I take notes on every single one. I didn't mean for that to happen. This notebook just happened to be right here. But I take notes on everything that I do, especially from the ads and the sales side, because like I said, that's not native to me. I have to really think about it, and it's nowhere close to as efficient as it should be. But it's all about that learning process. So all in all, what I'm really trying to get at here, the whole thesis of this brand, of this company, of me, for you to take away from this is, yes, it will be easier if this is in your blood, of sales and marketing, and that is in your blood, and you want to do a company and you want to start a company and you have all these visions of grandeur. That's great. You've already got a head start. You've got a head start over me, and you've got a head start over a bunch of people. But if that doesn't come native to you, and it's not something that's just second nature you've been brought up with, then it's okay. It's okay. You may have to take a corporate job like I did for 2 years to build up some capital, which is exactly what we did. That was the sole purpose of me taking a engineering job, was so we could build up some capital and save some money and kind of put us in the position where we're at now, where we can kind of take this leap of faith and we're going to be okay kind of thing. And it's going to be a bumpy road. I mean, either way, it's going to be a bumpy road. And all that goes out the window without a work ethic, without you willing to put in 20 hours a day or 18 to 20 hours a day and see minimal return on that investment of time. And that's exactly what I've been doing for 2 years now with this. And I wouldn't trade it for the world. I really wouldn't. And I really love what I'm doing right now, which is why I'm so happy that I figured out how to pair this deep need inside of me to really give back to people, to really care for people. I'm just so happy I found a vessel to put this all in with this clothing line. And I really am enjoying the clothing line and the whole process of learning the business, of learning the screen printing side of things. And it's just fascinating to me. But at the end of the day, it doesn't come natural to me, which is okay. But if you ask me if I consider myself an entrepreneur, I really don't. I really don't. And I don't know if I ever will. Maybe I won't, because there's also a part of me that I don't want this company to get massive. I don't want to be the next Under Armour. I don't want to be the next Nike, and I will never be the next Under Armour or Nike. Like, that's not in my vision. I don't want to have that. I don't want to be so big that I go right back to corporate America where I was, where it's meetings and micromanaging people and that side of things. That's not what I want. I want this to be a family-oriented, tight-knit group of people that produces a line that every single release is something unique and very interesting and something you cannot get anywhere else. And that's exactly what I plan to do. So, I don't know. You guys make up your mind whether you think I'm an entrepreneur or not. Honestly, it's not going to make any difference to me. If you think I am, that's a huge compliment, and that means the absolute world to me. But if you don't, it doesn't cripple me because I don't even consider myself an entrepreneur. So I think there's a lot of people who do consider themselves entrepreneurs out there right now that are not. I think there's a lot of people that consider themselves great business people when they haven't built a profitable business. And I'm here trying to be as transparent with you as I can and show you that, yes, we are profitable and here's where we're at right now. And I think that's really cool because I don't feel like there's enough of that. And the only way to get it done is to lead by example. So there's your little rant for the day. There's your little, there's a nice little podcast talk-ish thing. Speaking of podcasts, I'm trying to figure out how to do podcasts. It's on my list of things to learn to do. Another thing that I'm not great at, but we're going to figure it out. So I appreciate you guys listening. If there is anything else you want to know, you got my Snapchat. You know where to hit me up at. That's where I reply at the fastest. So appreciate listening.